Perfect. All right. You all right with the headphones? You feeling good? So look, I just got to say, I've toured the Digital Edge site about 2 years ago, and I was amazed. I mean, that was site, I think for me about 153rd site I've toured globally, and yeah, for being through Manila and seeing the sort of the generational changes as the technology has grown, and then coming into the park itself and seeing Digital Edge standing out NORA 1, it was a beautiful sight. So you must be happy and proud to.
We are very happy. Among all the other data centers here in the Philippines, I think we are one of the more unique ones because unlike the traditional data centers, feels kind of boxy, kind of corporate-y. So I think Digital Edge, especially the customer service area, we designed it in a way it's very welcoming, very warm. So we have a working bar there. Yeah,
Yeah, I did, and I saw the obviously NORA 1 being the tree. There you got the tree inside and things like that. So you've made it feel more than just a server farm or a computer world. So. Yeah. And obviously that ties into the topic we're talking about being automation and AI and things like that. And obviously there's a human element which we can't avoid. And obviously being an ops person yourself, you still need the humans to do certain things. But we talk about NORA, and if you go to the site, you see I'm gonna say the coolest little robot I've ever seen. Walking around and escorting you to. Obviously that's a part of an automation and AI and things like that. Was that something that you guys were trying to work towards to make it easy for customers? Obviously that's what we're trying to figure out is, does AI and automation make things easier for the customers as well?
It is actually, Digital Edge Philippines, we have 17 data centers across Asia, we have 6 countries in Asia Pacific. And if you look at our website, you'll see one of our core values there. It's innovation, and we are very much into innovation. We actually have a separate department dedicated into innovation and AI, right? That's being head up by John Young, our SVP for innovation. And NORA is one of we first thought of it as a gimmicky robot, but mind you, it's not just a gimmick for NORA. NORA, for now, is going to accompany customers into the racks just in case they want assistance.
Yep.
Tell them where the comfort rooms are, right? But later on, it's going to be integrated via API into our BMS system and access controls, wherein it will be able to detect, with the help of AI, intruders inside the data center. So if you're roaming around our data centers and NORA doesn't recognize you, it will simply alert our security team, and you will be, followed by a security team and probably let out or probably questioned why you are there in that area. Another one would be for us to deploy our drones. So we are in the process of getting drones for our data center. So part of it would be to augment our security team in the events of say, a storm. So after a storm, our drones will be out, will be deploying and checking if there's anyone hurt or if there are fallen trees in the perimeter. It's also used to augment some of our security team's functions. The security team can go around the data center. It'll take them probably around 30 to 45 minutes, right? The drones, 15 minutes. So
you've created a position where if there's an issue, the drones will pick it up quicker. So you can still get the humans to address. Obviously, that's the worry when we talk about AI and the robots. Are they going to take the jobs away? Which is obviously a big problem because there's already a lack of skilled talent in the industry. So you're trying to find a way to improve by using this kind of functionality. So I think that's a nice feature. And when we talk about the software that NORA is going to interact with, BMS has been an automated tool for a very long time. Having the ability of notifying of different things. Are there other areas that you're seeing with the benefit of AI and the smart learnings that it's becoming more of an automation AI play in that operational space?
Yeah, definitely. You're right. BMS has been there for a long time, and believe it or not, back in the day, we used to monitor power in our panels through a clamp meter. It's very dangerous, right? So now, with the aid of AI, with the aid of BMS systems, we can monitor that safely by using CTs in our panels and equipments. You can actually do monitoring also using solenoids, right? So that dry contacts, right? So, but now with automation, what we do at Digital Edge is that we have a CPOS system. I believe you saw our CPOS system, right? Our CPOS system is actually scenario based. So that's what automation does to our CPOS system. Meaning, if there's a scenario, failure scenario, wherein one of our valves or one of our SPLC units or one of our chillers fails, it will automatically shift that valve to another valve or to a redundant system. So I think that's why our team is so lean right now, because we do a lot of automation inside our data center. So obviously that's to relieve of our data center for any human errors, right? Because 90% data center downtime, human errors,
That's
right?
right. So, and obviously, you touched on it earlier. Just in relation to digital edge, not just having facilities in Manila. Obviously, that's your baby, that's your world. But obviously, having many other sites, 17 plus sites in other regions. Are you working with the other teams to go? We're doing this in Manila, and what are you doing in Singapore? And what are you doing in Japan? And trying to get as a obviously an operational group to become one. Because obviously, technology here, might be I don't want to say primitive, but it's going to be compared to the digital age of what's been in Japan and Singapore for 5-10 years longer because of the major evolutional shift. Have you seen some of those smarts coming across and then you updating and pushing it back and things like that?
Yeah, actually, for Digital Edge, we have that initiative. We have a staff exchange program wherein we have our best and brightest engineers go visit our other data centers in the region. So last year it was in Jakarta, in China. So this year we're going to send someone in Korea, which is our new flagship data center. We just launched our second site in Seoul, Korea. So that has now become the flagship data center for Digital Edge. And I think doing that practice, it helps us standardize certain standards inside a data center. So if they see any improvements or lack of it in that site, then at the end of that staff exchange program, they will be able to collate that and standardize it to all the data centers in the DE platform.
Now, I won't ask you what your secret sauce is, 'cause obviously that keeps you unique in regards to the rest of the world. But obviously, there'd be key areas or focus points. Every year you can't just go, I'm going to operate and fix everything, with AI. Or I'm going to put new software in and everything. Are there obviously key areas where you go, generally speaking, be focused on power or mechanical or things like that, and you're trying to support that more than others? And I guess, and to add as a second question, are you seeing that globally too, that other people are picking up certain areas to make it more like what BMS has been for so many years?
Yeah, well, in our case, I think for me personally, as a data center operator and in the operations team, I think what I'd like to focus more using AI would be incident responses. Because we are a lean team, and most of the time people would be doing troubleshooting because there's a problem in the data center, right? But nobody thinks of, hey, maybe we should inform our customers, right? So it's always it's like hindsight, right? So now if there's AI in our system that can actually do that, automate, do a predictive analysis in terms of, hey, I think this server is gonna go down next month because of the trend in their usage and their power fluctuations, right? So if we can do that, focus more on that, that would really help my operations. I think another one would be inventory management, power utilization, cooling, optimization. I think those are the things that we could actually use AI and leverage on it, because part of we have a very strong ESG initiative for Digital Edge. So we are data centers in general. We are very power hungry, right? So when you say actually of a green data center, it's kind of an oxymoron for
It is
so
definitely, yeah.
so definitely data centers, our data centers now, I think we're the only data center right now who's triple green certified. So Verde, LEED Gold, and IFC Edge. So if you think about it, we are trying to give back. So for what we are trying to consume, so that's why if we use AI and optimize our power, our cooling usage, then it's actually aligned to to what we have, to our ESG goals.
Now, do you think there's something missing in regards to operations? Obviously, the sales team get all, and the marketing team, how are we going? Good time?
Right.
Yeah. how do we go in relation to, obviously, sales and marketing get all the latest and greatest toys to play with and always in front of the customer, but operations is always, generally back of house. There's always the team are working, 24/7. Is there something you think that the industry needs to help promote? Like, is there some sort of automation tool or something like that, like a Salesforce, something like that you've seen where you go, and it could be you built your own, but there's obviously, is there something you think that's missing in the operational side?
For the operations side, like I said, if we can monitor or optimize our current power usages and our cooling, say optimize cooling inside our data center, that's really going to help our data center to align with our ESG goals. Yeah. So I think that's probably what the main thing that we need to talk about.
And in regards to, we said we about before about, the AIs and the robots taking over some of the staff.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that, we still need staff? And do you think that there's a point where, obviously data centers aren't a very large, employment from an operational standpoint?
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of the front of house can be very heavy, but from operations, you don't need that many people. Are you seeing that you can run the sites at night without staff? Do you think there still is a need for staff? Are you just seeing that there's some more processes and AI and the automation assistance?
That's a very controversial question, Adam.
That's why I asked. We could be here for hours talking about it.
But yeah, I think human interaction can never be replaced. So I think for us, for the data center operations engineers, it might be a change of roles, probably. So aside from them doing the nitty gritty now they just look at the monitoring systems and use the AI tool to maximize what they need to do, right? So they'll be more efficient actually in doing it. So they don't have to roam around, physically check everything, especially with the use of automation now in our system. So that'll greatly help them focus on what they're really there for,
No, that's very exciting. Now, I don't know how we're going for time, but is there any questions for Glenn? I see some Digital Edge people here as well.
Yeah.
Good.
Shout out to my Digital Edge family and my TIM family. They're over here too.
You got a fan club here, Glenn, looks like.
Yeah.
Are there any questions?
Yeah.
No questions? How are we going, Brendan? We're pretty good at time? Good question?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Jeff Capistrano from Digital Edge also. Or
And you asked me a question?
Yeah, I'll be asking you a question.
You should know this, Jeff.
Well, I heard about the SPLC. If you can probably expound on that one for the benefit of those.
That's our
who doesn't
secret
know it.
sauce.
Correct.
I don't want to talk with
Yeah, if you can highlight with that one.
I
Thank
think
you.
the easiest way to explain it would be this is what CSR always tells us, right? It's like a clay pot, clay pot technology. Back in the day, you put water in the clay pot, you leave it overnight, you drink it in the morning, it's cold, right? It's basically free cooling. So I think in the most simplest way we can explain that, that's how our SPLC works. So it uses ambient temperature, lowers it down to about 23 to 24 degrees, depending on the ambient temperature outside. And that cools the water inside our data center. So that's pretty much it. That's very basic.
So that really is your secret sauce. You've got
That
some
is.
hardness supporting. There you go.
Knowing our secret sauces is one thing. How to operate it and implement it is another.
Yeah, well, I think
so that's the secret.
taking a photo of it and saying we can do it is one thing, but operating it, as you said, it's always a challenge. So but I said, the site's amazing, and thank you for coming and spending time with us. So if you're in Manila and you want to check out, I'm sure that the team will be willing to.
Yes, if you have time, guys, you can approach any of our sales team, so you guys can have a visit inside our data center.
And I just want to say, NORA 2, is it happening? What's going on? I mean, we hear rumors, but obviously, though, at some point it's going to, there will be, right?
We're claiming it. We're claiming it. There will be an NORA 2, but timeline, not so sure.
That's right. So
there will be.
I think there's a question of we need to sell some more, right? Get some more megawatts in there.
Our sales team heard it, and they're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to our sales team right there.
Well done. No, thank you very much, Glenn. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.